want to show you guys something. We've talked a lot about how good and how bad the San Antonio Spurs are. And guys, we are both. We are really good and really bad. And when you're really good and really bad, it's going to end with 50-50. The Spurs are going to have 50-50 chances of winning these games. We're going to go 500 for the rest of the season. But this graph probably shows it pretty well. So this is an efficiency landscape. I love looking at these. This is from Kirk Goldsberry. And as you can see here, the Spurs, and by the way, let me say this. Spurs have been all over the place on this graph. Like all over the place all season long. Like at one point we were here. I remember us being right here, spank in the middle. I saw us over here at some point. We are all over the place. And it's just because our team has been quite unpredictable. Like we don't know what direction things are going in. And it's not really our fault, right? It's no one's fault. But with the Popovich stroke and with Wemby being out and Fox getting his surgery, which he should have gotten, I'm happy he did. The trades that we made before the deadline, like there's a lot that happened. There's a lot that happened. So if you're wondering where the Spurs have been the last 10 games as of March 21st, as you can see here, well, actually you can't see. If I zoom in, it doesn't really do anything. We're all the way down here. And you're probably like, what the heck? We're all the way down here? Yeah, we're literally... the... Why is it doing that? We have been the best offensive team and the worst defensive team. Best offensive team, worst defensive team. Now, this actually gives me a lot of hopium, okay? Because by us missing Fox, or well, he played some of those games in his last 10-game stretch, right? But us missing Fox, us missing Wembanyama, us not really having a primary coach right now, because Mitch Johnson, he ain't doing the greatest of jobs, right? A lot of players playing with one another for the first time, right? Like a lot of things. The past 10 games, the fact that we've been the best offensive team in the NBA is very telling to how good this team could possibly be, right? And the defensive stuff, that is not something I'm worried about at all. Like we have the defenders. Like even if the Spurs didn't add any more, well, you have to add a backup big. I will say that you have to add a backup big. Let's say the Spurs didn't add any more like great defenders on this team. You have Sohan, you have Steph Castle, you have Vassell, who he's not a point of attack defender or anything like that, but he's a good defender. He's a fine defender. You have Wembanyama, one of the greatest defenders of all time. I mean, you have a pretty solid defensive foundation already. So if you go ahead and add Wembanyama back in that mix, then you're looking at a really good defensive team, right? And I don't think that we are slouches offensively when Wemby comes back. Like that would just be silly. But yeah. What? Clan, activate my OS? My what? What? I don't get it. What? I don't mean to stop the segment, but that's like very distracting. What do I need to activate? Activate my OS. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Anyways, but yeah, so the Spurs being the best offensive team with us having lack of firepower is very telling, very impressive, and not something I will say that I saw coming. Okay, I was not expecting that. But defense, I did expect our defense to be pretty god awful, right? Like you need a backup big. So if you get yourself a backup big, you bring Wemby back, the Spurs are going to be one of the better teams in the NBA next season. We won't be the best. I don't think we'll be the best, but you add a couple lottery picks in there, and we're rolling, guys. We're rolling. We are a playoff team next season, undoubtedly, because there have been glimpses of excellence, and this is one of those instances, right? This is one of those instances. Not worried at all about our defense, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Offensive firepower is one thing that I kind of worry about, but you know, that'll be fixed in the next season. Yeah, exactly, Courtney. This team is learning how to win without relying on Wemby. Yeah. Wemby brings so much attention. It gets to a point where, yeah, you are just focusing on getting him the ball and, making sure he wins it for you. But yeah, you have to learn how to win without him. One thing that was special about people don't talk about this a lot, but people talk about the big three, like, oh, you had Tim Duncan, Manu, and Tony. What actually made those teams special? Obviously, they made them special, but what actually made those teams special is when you sat them, because Pop would do that quite often. We got in trouble for it. It's why the NBA has a rule against it now. But when you sat those players, everyone else would still make it competitive. Like I never turned off a game because I found out that Tim Duncan, Manu, and Tony weren't playing. Like, he would sit Manu, Tony, Duncan, and Kawhi, and we would still win those games. And it's because everyone knew how to play the game of basketball correctly. Everyone played with the utmost effort. Like, that's what made those teams special. So it's like, even if a player is out, you can't blink, right? You think about the game against the Houston Rockets. Was it game 6? I think it was game 6 where Kawhi was out and Manu Ginobili. I think it was the Manu Ginobili iconic block. I'm pretty sure that was the iconic block game. No, maybe it wasn't. I think we blew them out, right? We blew them out. That might have been another year I'm thinking about. Am I getting my years mixed up, chat? I might be getting my years mixed up here. The one where Kawhi sat, that wasn't the Manu block, was it? That wasn't an iconic block. I don't think that was the Manu block. That was the iconic block game? I don't think it was. Hold on. Spurs versus Rockets. Game 5. I don't know. It had been 2017 because that's when Kawhi got hurt. Or wait, game 6. I don't think that was. Yeah, it was. You're right. It was. It was the block game? I don't think it was the block game because we killed them the game I'm thinking about. No, it wasn't the block game. Look. This wasn't the block game. We murdered them. This was a game. This is what I'm talking about. This was a game without Kawhi. Yeah, see, Kawhi didn't even play. Still had Aldridge, but Kawhi didn't even play. But because everyone knew how to play, everyone played together and played the right way, you managed to destroy them. And Popovich did a good job of playing to every single team, or every single player's strengths as well. Yeah, it was. Kawhi Leonard sat on the blowout game. Yeah, this is what I was thinking about. It wasn't the block. The block might have been a year before this, maybe? I think the block game was a year before this. A year or two before this one. Same year? Wait, we had the iconic block and this game in the same year? Did this happen? Did the block game happen in game 5? What a time to be alive. What a time to be a Spurs fan. I did not realize that was the same series. Are you guys sure? I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh, it was. Game-winning block, game 5. We just took their heart out. Okay, we took their heart out in game 5. Kawhi. Oh, wait. Kawhi wasn't in this game, right? Didn't he get hurt at the end of this game? Okay, I think you guys are right. All right. So, man, what a time to be alive. I thought it was a whole... Man. Should the Spurs sign Bobo as pure backup for Wemby? If they want to. You don't really have to. I don't really... You don't have to do that. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, my whole point is this. These games are very important. You gotta learn how to play without your superstar. Very important. That's all I have to say. That was my whole point. That was a long rant for a simple point. You love to see it, though. You love to see it. But yeah, so sum it up. We are The best and the worst team in the NBA at the same time. Yep, at the same time.